Technonauts is a podcast that deep dives into digital transformation, startups, and technology. Hosted by AI hosts Ted and Samantha, Technonauts helps startup founders and mid-sized business owners navigate the world of technopreneurship. Episode 7. The Role of Information Technology in Modern Business.
Hey everyone, ready to dive in? Today, we're tackling IT strategy.
Yeah, but don't worry, we're not fixing printers today.
Definitely not. We're talking about how businesses win using IT, like really get ahead.
Exactly. Big picture stuff. And the research backs it up, by the way. Yeah, 70% of executives now, they rely on IT for major decisions.
Wow, 70%. So it's not just like the IT department anymore.
Nope. We're talking every part of a company, shaping the whole direction using IT.
Okay, so it's a big deal. But for those of us who don't, speak strategy every day,
Sure.
how do we actually use this? Where do we even begin?
Well, lucky for us, we've got Professor Maity's model to help.
Oh, yes. I loved his book, especially the part about avoiding, what did he call them, fool's errands.
Right. So easy to get caught up in every new tech trend, right?
Totally. Just because it's new doesn't mean it's right for you.
Exactly. Not every innovation is, created equal.
So true. Some are just shiny distractions.
Exactly. Shiny object syndrome. Professor Maity would say it's about finding your strategic sweet spot.
Strategic sweet spot. Okay, I like the sound of that. What does that even mean, though, practically?
It's like, what's your company good at? What do your customers want?
Right, makes sense.
And is there actually a market for that? Not just like wishful thinking.
Gotcha. So it's about focusing your energy on what you do well and what people actually need and want, and saying no to those distractions, the things that don't fit.
You got it. And Professor Maity, he breaks it down even further into 4 main points.
Oh, okay, like a framework.
Yeah, exactly. First, you got to know your strengths.
Yeah.
Really know them.
Makes sense.
Then shift your focus, right, to your customers. What do they need? What are their pain points?
Okay, so understanding your customers is key.
Absolutely. And then look at the market itself and the opportunities there that fit with your strengths and what your customers want, of course.
It's like finding that sweet spot in the middle of all of that, where it all comes together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But he doesn't stop there.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah. Professor Maity, he's big on honesty.
What do you mean?
You got to be honest about your weaknesses, too. And keep an eye on those competitors.
Right. What are they doing well?
Yep. What can you learn from them? Maybe even what should you avoid?
So you're saying it's not about being the absolute best at every single thing?
No, not at all.
More like knowing what you're good at and then like really owning that space.
You got it. Sometimes saying no is the smartest move.
I can see that. Saying no to the wrong things so you can say yes to the right ones.
Right. It takes discipline, but it can save you a lot of headaches down the road.
For sure. And probably a lot of wasted time and money, too.
Oh, absolutely. That's where a framework like this is so helpful. It gives you that structure.
That permission to say no sometimes, even when it's hard.
Yeah, exactly. It's about your technology working for you, not the other way around.
Making those investments really count.
Right. Getting the most bang for your buck.
Which actually reminds me of another model I wanted to ask you about today, McKinsey's 3 Horizons. Have you heard of that one?
Oh, yeah. That's a classic. It's perfect for balancing your short-term needs with your long-term vision.
I like that. So we're picturing 3 horizons, right? What does each one represent? I'm a visual learner, so help me paint this picture.
Okay, so picture this. Horizon 1, that's all about those immediate improvements. What can you do right now within the next year or two to make things run better, more efficiently?
Okay, like fine-tuning the engine, making sure everything is running smoothly.
Yeah, exactly. Streamlining processes, maybe new software to speed things up, maybe even save some money.
Got it. So less about reinventing the wheel, more about making the wheel spin better.
Exactly. Now, shift your gaze a bit further out to Horizon 2. This is where it gets interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more. What's on Horizon 2?
This is all about innovation, those midterm projects. Maybe 2 to 5 years out, new products, new services, those emerging technologies you hear about.
So if Horizon 1 is optimizing what we have, then Horizon 2 is building for tomorrow.
You got it. And again, it's not about chasing every shiny new gadget.
Right, it has to fit with your overall goals.
Yes. It's about making strategic investments that, give you an edge down the line.
I like it. Now, I got to ask about the final horizon, the one that always gets me thinking. What's way out there on Horizon 3?
Horizon 3. This is the really long game, 5, 10 years out. We're talking Big, ambitious projects that could transform your whole industry.
Those moonshot ideas, right?
Exactly. Pushing boundaries, exploring technologies that might seem impossible now.
Like AI or quantum computing, that kind of stuff.
Yep. Stuff that could change everything about how we live and work.
That is fascinating, but I bet some folks listening are thinking, okay, but what does this actually look like for my business?
You're right, it can feel a bit abstract. Let's bring it down to earth with an example. Imagine you're running a bakery, right?
Okay, a bakery, I can get behind that. So how do these horizons play out in like a bakery setting?
All right, so you're the bakery owner,
Yeah.
right? Horizon 1, that's all about making things run smoother. What slows you down right now?
I see. So it's about identifying those pain points, those bottlenecks.
Exactly. Like maybe it's your ordering system. It's a mess. People are on the phone lining up.
Yeah, that's a real pain for a bakery.
Right. So Horizon 1, you implement a nice online platform, easy ordering, people can customize their cakes, whatever.
Oh, I like that customers can order online, even pay ahead of time, saves everyone hassle.
Exactly. Smoother, faster, happier customers. Now think about Horizon 2.
All right, Horizon 2, we're thinking bigger now.
A little bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you've noticed people are asking for gluten-free stuff, vegan options,
That's
right?
a growing market.
Right. So Horizon 2, you experiment with those recipes, maybe a whole new product line.
So you're not just keeping up with the times, you're tapping into a whole new customer base.
That's it. Now for the real fun, let's talk Horizon 3 for this bakery.
Okay, Horizon 3 for a bakery. Are we talking robot bakers now?
Maybe. Why not? Think way out there.
Give me the future of pastry.
Okay, how about a robotic arm?
Yes.
Decorates cakes, super precise, intricate designs, way faster than a human could.
Whoa, that's next level stuff.
Right. Or even, okay, this is a little crazy, 3D printed pastries.
3D printed pastries. What would those even... Okay, my mind is blown. I need to stop before I get hungry. But I get it. It's not just the tech itself. It's how you use it.
Exactly. Whether it's making things more efficient, expanding what you offer, or exploring those big wild ideas, it's got to make sense for your goals.
Finding that balance between keeping the lights on today and being ready for tomorrow.
You got it. And this ties in perfectly with another idea from Professor Maity, zone offense versus zone defense.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you about that. He talked about how companies react to disruption, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can be the disruptor, like those Horizon 3 thinkers, or you can respond to disruption.
And he used those great examples. Uber, Airbnb, talk about shaking things up.
Right. Total zone offense. They saw a chance to change the game with technology.
And it's not just about being first. It's about understanding why things are changing.
Yes. Like what's driving these disruptions? Technology, consumer behavior, all of that.
And then using that knowledge to your advantage, whether you're on offense or defense.
Exactly. And that's where zone defense comes in.
Yeah.
You can't ignore change.
Right. Like our bakery owner, if suddenly there's Uber Eats for pastries.
Exactly. They've got to adapt. Doesn't mean throwing out everything they know.
Yeah, you don't need a self-driving oven on day one.
Right. But maybe partner with a delivery service. Up their online game. It's about being flexible.
So it's not just about the big, flashy innovations. It's about being willing to evolve.
Yes. And being proactive. Don't wait for things to happen. Anticipate them.
I like that. Which brings us to that other point of Maity's, the continuous innovation framework.
Oh, that's a good one. It's like baking innovation into the DNA of your company.
Instead of innovation being this big, scary thing, it's just how you do business.
Exactly. And he breaks it down into steps, so it's not overwhelming.
Okay, I'm all about manageable steps. What's step one?
First, you got to know what you're dealing with, right? Gather intel.
Research. I knew all that late-night internet surfing would come in handy.
C. It's essential. Not just any intel, though. You got to understand your market, your competitors.
So, like, who else is selling pastries? What are they doing?
Yep. And what's coming down the pipeline. New technologies, trends, all of that.
Okay, so know yourself, know your competition, know what's out there. Got it.
Then it's SWOT analysis time. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Classic business school stuff.
Ah, the memories. But you know what? It's a classic for a reason.
Right. Forces you to be honest. Where are you strong? Where are you vulnerable?
And once you have that clear picture, you can start aligning your strategy and your technology choices.
Exactly. Which technologies will help you capitalize on those strengths?
And which ones will help you, shore up those weaknesses.
Right. And this is where those horizons come back in.
I see it. So some tech is about that Horizon 1 stuff, making what you already do better.
And some tech is more future-focused, those Horizon 2 and 3 plays.
Finding that balance again. Okay, this is making a lot of sense. So we've analyzed everything, aligned our tech. What's next?
Now, you got to set some goals. What are you actually trying to achieve with all this?
Okay, so we've got our analysis, our tech is aligned, we know where we're going with it.
Right. The big question now is, how do we measure success? What are those specific goals?
So not just we want to innovate more, it's got to be concrete.
Exactly. Measurable objectives. Professor Maity, he'd say, tie it back to the big picture, those business goals, remember.
Right, so every project, every investment, it's got to be driving towards something.
Absolutely. No vanity projects allowed. And once you've got those objectives, then you can figure out, okay, what are we actually going to do?
Prioritize those projects, right? Which ones get us closer to those goals?
Exactly. And this is often where it gets tricky for businesses, especially those with, limited resources.
I bet. So many ideas, where do you even start?
Right. Easy to get overwhelmed. But Maity, he's got a good system ROI and feasibility assessments for each project.
Okay, so like a reality check.
Exactly. Can we actually afford this? Do we have the people, the time?
Makes sense. Sometimes you have to say no to good ideas if the timing's not right.
Right. Better to focus on what you can actually accomplish and do it well.
Totally. Okay, so we've analyzed, strategized, we've got our priorities straight.
Now it's all about the roadmap. Laying out those timelines, milestones, who's doing what.
The nitty-gritty project management stuff.
Exactly. Keeps everyone on track, moving in the same direction.
Yeah.
And, Professor Maity actually suggests a software for this stage jam and ideation studio.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to check that out. So we've covered a ton of ground today. We talked about IT being more than just, keeping the lights on.
It's a strategic advantage now.
Right. We dove into Professor Maity's models, finding your sweet spot, building that culture of innovation.
And don't forget those horizons. Balancing today's needs with tomorrow's opportunities.
Absolutely. But I think the biggest takeaway, for me at least, is that this isn't just for the tech giants.
Oh, for sure. Any business can do this. It's about asking the right questions, being honest with yourself about where you stand.
And then making choices that play to your strengths, using technology as a tool to reach those goals.
Exactly. It's not about the shiniest tech, it's about the smartest strategy.
I like that. It's about choosing where you focus your energy and using it wisely.
Technonauts is available on Spotify and YouTube. For more information, visit www.technonauts.show.